Okay, I think we are live. There's like a 60 or 70% chance we're live. And my YouTube page is saying that my streaming has started, so that is good. And oh, wow, is that already you, Gettys? Good afternoon. So I obviously am Nabil, and tonight we're going to do something a little bit different. Um, Normally we fly some sort of plane, and it's kind of quick, and we do some stuff. And the routes are whatever. Tonight we're going to fly the Aerobask, not the Epic Victory. Tonight we're going to do the Viperjet, and this is special for a couple of reasons. Not the least of which because it's really, really fast. It climbs something like 5,000 feet a minute, and it'll do that up to 25,000 feet, which is kind of insane. So, oh, does my stream really say we're flying the 208? Because we are not flying the 208, and I thought I told it to... Nope, good, okay. My page didn't refresh. Alright, so let's hop in this little son of a bitch, and let's take a look around. This cockpit is fantastic, by the way. We're going to open the canopy. Oh, we have to unlock it, and then open the canopy. Look at that. That's something special. And then I'm also going to make sure that my stream is paused and muted on my other computer. Alright, so let's go ahead and pull off the chocks. And they are out. And let's turn on the battery and the avionics and the boost pump. You can shut your damn pie hole.
2200 Zulu weather.
That should shut its pie hole. Boop. Alright. Frame rate's not doing so hot. Oh well. We're gonna go ahead and turn on the fuel. Turn on the parking brake. That is an important step in this plane. That is incredibly important. Let's take a look at our fuel. Weight and fuel. We have way more fuel than we need. I'm going to go ahead and bump this back to 2 hours of fuel. That should be plenty sufficient. I don't expect this flight to take more than an hour. And this is the hard part. To start this plane... Oh, boost pump. To start this plane, I actually have to use the stopwatch on my Seiko. Because you have to hold down the starter for exactly 4 seconds going now. There we go. So any more than 4 seconds, it doesn't work. Any less than 4 seconds, it doesn't work. I actually filed a bug report with the manufacturer before I realized that I wasn't waiting exactly 4 seconds, and that was the problem. So, alright. We are delivering fuel to the aircraft. And it is really excited to move. So we're going to go ahead and turn on our generator, turn off the boost pump, turn off the igniter, and yep, the only thing it's complaining about now is the canopy. The other thing I need to do is open this, and flight plan, clear, menu. Let's clear this thing. Alright, and now, I think it's here, there we go. Push the cursor, and we're going to go to... Huh, do we want to go to Phoenix? Or Las Vegas, maybe? Las Vegas isn't too far, is it? Let's see, how far is Las Vegas? Flight plan. Come on. Scroll up and down. You're not going to do it, are you? Oh well. Menu, flight plan. I think I need the cursor. Alright, 300 miles, so that's less than an hour. I can probably make it to Las Vegas. I say we're flying to Las Vegas tonight. I was originally going to go to Yuma, but this'll do. And we're going to move this all the way up to the top. Flight plan. Okay, so that Oh geez, that's kind of dumb, isn't it? Because we don't need to go to Raya. Let's see. Clear. No, wrong way. Enter. How do I get rid of this? Clear. Yes. Enter. Haha. And now Barrett. Does Barrett make sense? Nope, because that is all... Oh, it thinks we're leaving from San Diego. That's what we need to fix. We need to make this a KC for Gillespie Field. KC. Oh, wrong way. And still the wrong way. There we go. Enter, accept. And now clear that. Ha! That looks less stupid. Okay, that works for me. And now we're going to go ahead and do VFR. Stand by for... Here we go, VFR. And I think, other than the brakes and the canopy, we're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and close the canopy. There we go. And then we'll lock the tab. And we'll go ahead and pressurize the canopy. Now let's go ahead and find the radio information for this joint. Whoop. Yeah, I don't have my iPad with me, so I can't look at it on the normal map that I use. 3005. ATIS is 1254. Actually, where's the wind coming from? 280. So it's coming from sort of over here. So it doesn't matter where we take off, because this is a very light plane that is very, very fast. It has lots of power, and it does not care about your wind. God damn it. And 3005, set the barometer to 3005. There we go. Altitude matches what it's supposed to. Let's go ahead and taxi this from the outside. Those are really, really big lights. How's that? And we'll save that like that. Alright. Actually, we're going to go that way. Come on, where'd my map go? It's gone. Why won't you move? Alright, well, my map isn't going to move, but that's fine. I don't need it to. And let's see. One was 280. There really isn't a good place to cross this runway, is there? Oh, no, we can do it right up there. That's not bad. Yeah, this is as slow as I can taxi this thing, by the way. This isn't just me being an aggressive douchebag. If I don't hold the brakes down, it sort of does its thing. It goes. Actually, well, I've got a second. Flight directory, damper. We're going to go ahead and climb out of the... Wait, we have some airspace considerations that we need to worry about. So right here, this is, what are the heights on those? I think 4,800 is the shelf I'm underneath. So we're going to go to 4,800. You know what, we'll do, yeah, 4,800 right now. And I can double check it in a moment. 4,000. Come on. Stop. That's real close. Okay. And I want to climb at an indicated airspeed of 150 knots. There we go. Okay. I hope you guys can't see the random messages I'm getting on my screen in the stream. Actually, let me see. I don't need much of this runway to take off if I want to just go directly in my direction of travel. And yes, I know that it isn't proper, but the honest truth is that with enough power, proper doesn't really matter. As long as I can control this thing. Is that enough? That's a taxiway. I guess I'll try to pretend I give a shit. I'll come down to the end of 9. We will take off on runway 9 today. It's an awful lot of Cessna 172s with exactly the same tail number and paint. Yeah, it's taxiing at 40 knots. God damn. That's enough. That's far enough. A hot air balloon will block any approaches. And since we aren't taking off on... I mean, it's an active runway now that we're on it, but that's the only reason that it's active. We should be okay. And we're going to go ahead and keep our flaps up, because, again, power. And yeah, there's the mountain range right there, and we don't care, because power. And 50 knots, 60, 70 knots, 80 knots, 90 knots, 100 knots, 110 knots, and rotate. And we're up. Gear up. And we're basically heading in the direction we want, right? We go ahead and trim this a little bit nose high. There we go. And, oh, we're going too fast. Let's tell this thing to climb. And there we go. That is a fantastic climb. And we're still going faster than I want to. Climbing at over 6,000 feet a minute. Alright. And 4,800 feet, I believe, is the bottom of this shelf. If you look right here, I believe this is a 4,800 foot shelf. No, this is a 5... I'd have to look. I think this is the 4,800 foot shelf. think this one might be 5,800 or 6,000 feet. And once we get out here, we can just go. We're fine. Oh, and we are over speed. And once we get outside of this, we definitely need to pop up to 5,000. That much I do know. Why? Because of those. The hills. One hour and 57 minutes, 56 minutes. Yeah, this is going to be a quick one. Especially once I get a little bit of altitude underneath me. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and climb up to 6,000 feet until we hit Barrett. And once we hit Barrett, I'll do 5,700. Once we hit Barrett, we will go ahead and climb the rest of the way. Indicated airspeed, down. $205. Oh, Jesus, we're already too close. Getting some weird shadow effects without HDR on. So what do you think so far, Gettys? I think you're still in the stream. And I'm sure I'm saying your name wrong. I'm a dum-dum. Feel free to yell at me. Nav. And that should be enough, right? Yeah, because we're going to Barrett. Barrett's right there. And then Kano. Yeah, 30-minute flight. It's not even going to be. Get us. Hey. Prepare to turn. Alright, once I get past Barrett, we're gonna bump up to a lot. Bump us up to, say, 16,000 feet? Sound reasonable? You just got on. Hello. If we have time, once we get up to 16,000 feet, I'm going to do some stuff. Indicated airspeed, boop. Indicated airspeed of 250. I'm going to climb at 150 knots. There we go. And up we go. Did you miss much? Not really. We took off from Gillespie Field, which is East County in San Diego, my old stomping grounds. And we are flying the Viperjet, which is an experimental general aviation fighter plane, for lack of better words. And it climbs real good-like. So we are climbing up to 16,000 feet, and geez, we just did 5,000 feet in the amount of time it took me to say that. No, we are a little bit, actually, slower than I want, but we're fine. We are climbing, climbing, climbing. Yeah, that might be the picture, I think. There we go. Alright, so it slowed us down a little bit. We're only climbing at 4,000 feet a minute now. After climbing 7,000 feet in, I don't know, a minute? Nah, it must have been more than a minute, but it wasn't a whole lot more than a minute. Let's see. We're still climbing out. Let's see, flight plan. Las Vegas is 253 miles away, and we will get there quickly. Oh, and you know what? I can turn off my landing lights. And I should probably turn on my bleed so I don't run out of oxygen. Because it turns out oxygen is important. How was my day? Honestly, it wasn't fantastic. I'm glad to not be at work anymore. Although, today is my son's 9th birthday. And so that's pretty good. Although we're not celebrating it today, we're celebrating it a little bit later, but I don't know. I guess I don't know. Did I mention that this airplane is acrobatic? Aerobatic. Aerobatic's the word. It does things like that. What kind of message do you have for me? Set course to 354. Well, it's close enough. 248. There's a way to, like... Nope, don't want to do that. That's probably good enough. Glad to not be at school. Yeah. What do you do for a living, Geddes? Geddes? Geddes. Everybody who's watching this video on YouTube after the fact are going to think that I'm an idiot, and that's fine. I should probably take a look at my speeds here. Ground speed is 344. And I bet I'm using a lot of fuel. I am. Fuel flow, 450 pounds an hour. But it's going to take us almost no time to get there. And we have plenty of fuel, including in the tip tanks. You're 15. Ah. What do you want to be when you grow up? Get us. Oh, that's right. We talked about this the other day. You want to be a pilot. Your uncle is a pilot for something, right? Something. Southwest, maybe? I don't know. Delta, yeah. Make the range bigger. Seems reasonable. This is actually the same flight plan that we were using in the 208B the other day that took... Oh yeah, I know the chat has a delay. It's a couple of minutes, isn't it? Or maybe not minutes, but 10 seconds? I'm at 16,000 feet, aren't I? The other day, we were at 10,000 Just barely cleared that. 20 seconds? Yeah, that seems reasonable. To be fair, though, the chat is actually on a different computer, so I have to look away from my screen to see my chat. And I am getting bored of the autopilot. So, if you look over to the left of the screen, you will see the angle of attack indicator. And it shows you what the wind is doing, what the airflow is doing on the airfoil. So if I pull back a little bit, you'll see it get green. And literally what that means is that the air has a nice laminar flow, but it's buffeting a little bit. And so if I pull back really hard, and let's see, what's my altitude right now? 15.5, okay. You can see it starts to go up, 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 up. If I pull back really hard, the plane will actually flip backwards and start moving backwards, I guess. The problem with that being, of course, that the air... Oh, did I say something completely out of context? Yeah, no, I know. So, let's see. Let's... I'm going to dive a little bit to pick up some speed. And up. You can see the angle of attack indicator is showing that I'm about to stall because of the wind flow on the wings. And there you go. But it's okay to stall. But how can we be stalling at 170 knots? It's because of that angle of attack, which is actually what determines whether or not you stall. It was a bad example, but that's actually how it works. And what that's showing you is, if you look at the wing, as I was pulling into that loop, the wind hits the air hits the front of the wing, and then follows the skin of the wing back. But as I pull back real hard, the wind hits the front, and it can't follow the curvature of the wing, so it splits off. And so instead of coming down along the wing, it pops up over the top, right? And that's what actually causes a stall. So that is why I think every airplane should have an angle of attack indicator. And to be fair, I think the FAA agrees with me on that. It's made a time and route. I want to show something else. Seems really clear out here. Should I have weather? Nope. Okay. Ooh, but I am flying into a thunderstorm. Fantastic. How long have I been using X-Plane 10? Man, that's a year and a half? Year and a half. I'm gonna say a year and a half. Feels like a year and a half. Center on aircraft. Find me the nearest airport. Altimeter 3000. Barrow. Boop, 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 boop. To be fair, before I used X-Plane 10, I used X-Plane 9. and I've been a big fan of aviation for a very long time. Alright, sorry about that, I'm back. My son hopped in, so I wanted to say stuff to him. Since 2012, very nice. Let's see. What is our ground speed? 377 knots. You know what? It's a good training aid. For, I guess, posterity's sake, since this is going to end up as one of my normal YouTube videos, Geddes is saying that he used it for years, but he just sort of screwed around, and now he's being more serious about it. So I'm working on my PPL right now. I fly a Cessna 172 out of Shelburne, Vermont. And the things that I've learned the most in X-Plane are... I've been able to use it to practice some of the theory. Not necessarily the flying, but the flying isn't really the hard part, right? It's like riding a bike in that once you get a feel for it, it's not the flying that's difficult most of the time. That said, unlike a bike, you can forget it and lose it forever. But the hardest part about flying is the procedural stuff, right? It's all of the checklists. It's knowing what to say on the radio or who to say it to, and it's knowing how a pattern is supposed to look and when you're turning right, unless you're supposed to be turning right for right traffic, because the chart said so, and what that looks like, and how to do all that crap. That is the hard part, I think. Where are those storms I was promised? Oh, right in front of me. Not too far. I guess I'm starting to see the clouds now. God damn it! God damn it. Do I use sim routes? I do not know what sim routes is, so I'm going to go with no. It is a little bit imposing looking, eh? Oh, for my FMS plans, I usually build them ahead of time using a different application. Um, I use something called XP Flight Planner. It's not super in depth, but for anything where I'm not going to be using, heavy metal like my A320 or the 757, it's nice and light and fast, and I like that. For the larger planes, I usually try to handcraft them, simply because I don't trust those routes, the ones you download. I've gotten a lot of really bad ones that don't seem to match reality. Not necessarily, excuse me, from sim routes, just in general. Oh, and we're inside the clouds, or we're about to be. There it is. Alright, and bank. I need to get a CRJ 200, huh? I actually think the next airplane that I buy is going to be, I was looking at the Embraer 175. That looks good to me. I have lots and lots and lots of, if you've watched my videos, you've seen a lot of them. I have a lot of turboprops, and I love me some turboprops. I don't do a whole lot of jets, unless they are heavy metal. Although lately, this Aerobask stuff I've been really getting into. Specifically the Viperjet and the Epic Victory. I've had a lot of fun with these. $165 miles to Las Vegas. Some slightly darker clouds. Let's see, 165 nautical miles, and I'm going 376. So, let's see. I'm trying to remember how to do this on my aviation watch, because it's good practice. Alright, so that is, I think, 370 on my watch. You can't see what I'm doing, so I guess I'll put the view someplace interesting. And I need to go 160. So 25 minutes, I think. Let's see, CRJ, it's 50. Any recommendations for $25 or under? What are you looking for to get out of it? Are you looking for, hardcore systems and sort of all kinds of craziness? Because if that's what you're looking for 25 or under, it's going to be a close one. That said, depending on how crazy you want your systems to be, there's some stuff out there that might fit the bill. Or do you just want something that's modern and fast? 3D cockpit, a regional jet. You know what? If you want a regional jet for $25, don't get the jet. Get the FJ Sim -8 Q400. That's going to be my suggestion. Um, it's beautiful. It's a little bit buggy. It's not perfect, but it's got a very nice 3D cockpit. It's a whole lot of fun to fly. It is almost as fast as a regional jet. It's the fastest turboprop, I think, in the world, at least in that market segment. It is really, really a lot of fun. It's beautiful to fly. Crap, part of me wants to show it to you, but we're flying this. So that's an option. Let me see. What else is crazy and fun? The JAR A320neo is way out of that price range. Regional jets. The Challenger 300 is $30. Don't get the ERJ 140. I love it, but it's buggy and not complete. The Sukhoi 100 Superjet is $25. That is a beautiful, fantastic airplane that is, unfortunately, it doesn't appear to be fully supported by the developer anymore. I just bought it a little while ago, and it's beautiful and so much fun to fly, but there's an autopilot bug that he hasn't fixed yet, and I wouldn't suggest buying it until that happens. Under the... where is it? Oh, it's too expensive. That's too bad. One of the planes in the store is the Felis Yak 40, which is possibly the craziest, most in-depth thing I've ever seen. It's Russian, 3D cockpit, so much fun to fly, and you really do have to fly it. But you need to have a printout of the manual to start the engines, because the cockpit is in Russian. Yeah, I do a lot of hand flying too, although I almost never record it. Anyway, if you want something that is a challenge to hand fly, look at the Felis Yak 40 as one of them. Let's see, how much are the 727s? Airliners, Boeing, 732 is close. 727 is also close. You need another $12, I think, if you want something really crazy. If you're only going to be hand flying, though, let me think. There is, what is interesting to hand fly? Actually, wait, how far away am I? 132 nautical miles at 377 knots. Oh, so that's 20 minutes. I'll be fine. I can descend enough to get down there. Because this is a fighter jet. Let's see. Stuff that's fun to hand fly. You're not looking for something big in that case. Let's see. The 110 is close to your range, and that's a slippery one though. That's not so much fun as it is challenging. The Twin Otter's real close to your price range. It's 27, and I've read some good things about that. I haven't tried it myself though. Yeah, I think you should get the Q400. Once we land, I'll open it up, and you can take a look at it. We probably won't fly it around much, because I do have other things to do tonight. This was just supposed to be a quick flight, but message inside airspace. Inside airspace. Huh? I guess I am. At the twatter. So, Twin Otter is a lot of fun to hand fly, and you will probably enjoy it. Let's see, who makes it? RW Designs. I don't know if I've flown this one myself. No, I haven't. I've seen Chevy fly it, I think, but I haven't done that one myself. And then there's the ATR 72-500, which splurge and go for the twatter. It's not a bad plane. My favorite is the ATR 72-500, and I'm probably the only one who has that as a favorite because it is a lot of fun to hand fly. It's a little bit slow. It's kind of hard to climb to altitude, and it's not terribly good at anything, but I love it, and it's beautiful. Just those clouds are angry. Somehow I keep missing all of the weather. Maybe we'll divert and go land at what is BYS. $114. Hold on a second. You're gonna buy the twatter. Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, Geddes is buying the twatter. 376. And apparently my iPhone thinks that twatter is the same thing as Hey Siri, because it just activated Siri. That's funny. There's Needles. And from Needles, actually, I should be, theoretically, yeah, I should begin descending, I think, soon. 1932, yeah, soon. Five minutes. What's 5 minutes? 5 minutes to go 109, 108 miles? My math says 12 minutes. I should begin descending soon. I think after we come out of Needles, I'm gonna begin my descent. I'm going to do a relatively aggressive descent, because how often do you get to fly a GA airplane that is basically a fighter? I wonder if I could convince them to make me a Sonex, which is one of my favorite little experimentals ever. I should suggest that to them. I want them to make me a 1X. That's kind of a cool view, though. It's certainly much easier. And let's prepare to bank. Not that you have to prepare for it, it's just I want to be on the outside to watch it, because it's pretty... Alright. Let's see. I have 10 minutes of fuel left. Sort of. No, I guess I have 20 minutes. Okay. Ooh, there's a river down there. I think it's time to go look at the river. Let's go ahead and do that. Wow, these air brakes are effective. We're going down to the river. Alright, and we have descended from 16,000 feet to 4,000 feet. Basically just like that. That is performance. I think I want to do that climb again. Autopilot, indicated airspeed of 150, lots of throttle. I'll let you do the climb for me, and I will descend. And there's 10,000 feet. How crazy is that shit? There is 10,000 feet. Actually, local map, center on aircraft, 3004. There we go, 10,000 feet. And let's take a look at the flight plan. 72 nautical miles. I kind of want to see what that looked like, actually. So we came around, took a corner, I rolled down, rolled again, came down, followed the river, and climbed back up. This thing has some performance. Some. God, it's amazing to me that, 2 minutes ago, I was at 4,000 feet. Now I'm at 16,000. And this is a plane civilians can own. That is the crazy part. It's relatively expensive for civilians to own it, but they can own it. And pretty soon I am going to be pumping all of the fuel out of my tip tanks. There we go, there's 99%, and the EGT, I want you to come down, 690, no, there we go. It's funny, a friend of mine, have to go, you can still show the Q400? I may show the Q400. I'm not going to fly it. I'm just going to land. We'll taxi where we're going, and I'll open it up and show it around for you. But thanks for watching tonight, Geddes. And I'm sad that you're going to miss the landing. Well, not by much. We're real close. We're 65 miles out, and I'm going 350 nautical miles, so it's 5 minutes. That sound right? 5 minutes? Yeah, there goes 63. Adios, Geddes. What's that over there? Salt flats. Oh, you'll stay? Yeah, I mean, we're, 60 nautical miles away from Las Vegas. And I think it's just over that rise. Yeah. over there, and then cut in and land. And once we get over that way, I'm gonna hand fly. Yeah, it's about 5 minutes, I think. Because this is 2 minutes. That's probably 4 minutes. That's a minute to get there and a minute to land. We're real close. I plan on doing a very high-speed descent. I wonder if I'll have any fuel left in the tanks, or if I'm going to start pumping it in from the tip tank. Now, I've got the pump on for the tip tank, so it should just, should just pump it in, but let me, you know what, I'm going to transfer it all to the right. And then I'm going to bump this to left. And turn the transfer pump off. And that should pump fuel into the left tank from the tip tank, shouldn't it? Yeah, that's not what I want. Off. Or do both of them have to be empty? I don't know. So it should be over there. That's about 30 miles away. So that's 6 minutes, I think. Heading. And then I'm going to hit this. We're going to go that way. We're going to change the flight plan. We're just going to go straight to... direct to activate. 313. Oh, Jesus, I'm not paying any attention to what that says. Heading 313. There we go. Five minutes and 47 seconds to be over the top of it. And what I intend on doing is basically flying over it. I decided to do something better with the money. I'm going to take my dad to dinner. The twatter can wait. It's a good call, Geddes. That's a good call. The twatter can wait. Not only can it wait, but I don't know. It's not a bad plane, but it doesn't have very long legs. It's you're never gonna, go for a long flight with it because it can't, you know. Besides, if you bring your father to dinner, he may, St. Martin, yeah, that's true. If you bring your dad to dinner, he may just buy you the twatter. Alright, let's see what happens when I run out of fuel. Trying to balance the plane up. Oh well. I won't worry about it too much because I'm gonna get some hot wings. Nice. I love wings. "22 miles. Autopilot is off. And you can tell how unbalanced the plane is. It's already deciding that it wants to go somewhere else and do something else. I wonder, can you actually follow the contours of these clouds? Oh, and I am quickly approaching Vienne. Let's see. So that is Henderson? Yeah. Which means that's the airport I'm looking for. Alright, well, we're getting close. I'm going to go ahead and throw on my air brakes. And the air brakes mean I need to trim up a lot. And actually, let me see. Local map. On 1175. I'm not going to use the ILS, I don't think, but it would be terrible to get it lined up that way. Alright, air brakes are off. The GPS should have extended center lines. Air brakes are on. Let's see, what are my speeds on this? Flaps, let's see, flap, 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 flap. Doesn't say. So I will use them when I think they are appropriate. And 250 knots is probably not it, you know? That's the airport and that sort of brown spot out in the distance in the center. What's better, takeoff or landings? In real life or in the sim? Gear down. Speed brakes are off. Can I do flaps 1 at this speed in this plane? I don't remember. But I don't think it's going to matter a whole lot. In real life, I like landing more than taking off. In the sim, I like taking off more than landing, because it's easy. You just give it some gas, and it sort of does its thing. So let's see. We are getting close. 170. I'm sure I can drop the flaps at that speed, right? And shit, a Cessna can almost drop... real life, like flying a plane myself. the fuck did that airport go? Oh, it's over there. To the right. Real life like a passenger, I don't like being a passenger in someone else's plane, actually. There's nothing wrong with it, it freaks me out. Because, I prefer to be the pilot. That's a little bit too much up trim, I think. This thing is bouncing all over the place. It doesn't like going slow. And it is constantly pulling to the right a little bit.
1,000.
1,000. I think we're gonna land on... What is that, like 27 right or something? The wind's a little bit irritating. This is a decent crosswind here, but I certainly have the power to sort of force my way through it if I have to. It's just a lot more crap than I was expecting. Of course, and that could be because I didn't actually check the weather before landing. Because, like a dolt, I was like, you know what? I've got power. I don't need to know what the weather looks like. Look at all this power I have. And now I'm paying for it by having to fuck around. Oh jeez, and here comes the ballooning that I hate. Because I just went full flaps.
400.
300.
300.
A little bit faster.
200.
This thing wobbles so much below 100 knots. So much wobble.
100. 50. 40. 30. 20. 10.
There we go. And flaps up. I guess I expected there to be a turnoff there, but there is not. And once we taxi off this runway, we'll hit the parking brake and I'll show you the FJ Sim Dash 8 Q400. Do I have a scenery for this airport? No, I don't think I do. So then we'll just do this here then. Since I did what I wanted to do, right? Alright, and we'll turn that off. And real quick, before I show you that though, I do have to watch that that landing. Thank you. Tell you what, man, I had to put in a lot more crab on that landing than I expected. Look how wobbly that is. Wobble, wobble, wobble. Wobble, wobble, wobble. And there are flaps 4, and it balloons. It's not even close to the center line. I mean, obviously right now I'm not, but... that wasn't terrible, and it was actually decently on the center line. Alright, that's replay mode. So let's open aircraft, and I promised you that we could look at this, and we are going to look at... Continental's fine. Actually, no, we'll do... Qantas. Shouldn't take too long to load. It's a very pretty plane, but it's not terribly heavy. That said, you never know. Sometimes it just decides to be stupid and take forever. So it shouldn't take too long though. Jeez, this is taking a little while, isn't it? Doop-a-doop-doop-doop. Doo-doo-doo. An hour and 20 minutes. We're almost there. Hour and 18 minutes and 45 seconds. I don't want to go too long after that hour and 20 minutes, though, so... Come on, load this thing up. This one is an even 25. There you go. Go ahead and close the passenger door. And we'll hop into here. Oh, shit. And this is the cockpit in this. This is a Bombardier Q400-8 Q400. It's actually a lot of fun to fly. It's turboprop, obviously. And it has a decent interior, nice 3D cockpit. I'll go ahead and turn on the batteries. Oh, sorry, battery master, main, standby, there you go. One of the cool things about these turboprops, though, as opposed to like a jet, is that you have the throttle and you can play with that, but most of what you're going to do is going to be here in the engine control, because this is actually the propeller control section. And that's where you get your power from, is the prop RPMs. And this is a good plane. It's a hoot. I probably don't like it as much as the ATR, which is my favorite, but this is still a damn fine airplane. I don't think this is actually going to start because... Oh, actually there is some fuel in that. Let's see if it does start. And a little bit of turny-turny. And there you go. Alright, Geddes, you have a good evening, and actually it is 1 hour and 21 minutes, so I am going to end this stream. So thank you very much for watching, and I guess for all of you in YouTube land, thank you for watching as well. I will be back next time. Who knows, maybe we'll take the Dash 8 out of Las Vegas. Thanks.